Hey there, good evening, and welcome back. Thank you guys very much for bearing with my extra day off this week. I know that my wife appreciates that I took that day so that I could have we could have a little bit of a date for our anniversary, which we went and saw the new Indiana Jones movie, and it's an Indiana Jones movie. Those dancing smooches don't have booties, and that feels like a crime. They don't have booties. I swore that the Dancing Smeech did have a booty, and I'm not sure why his doesn't show up. Anyway, Matt, good evening. Let's switch over here. All right, we hopefully that will catch up with us in a moment, and we will not be doing that weird thing all night. Let's close that. Make sure that I've got a couple of things open that don't need to be open, like Discord, and my phone connection, and Steam. Steam doesn't have to be connected for this. I do not know what causes this issue with the camera. It wasn't doing that before. So this is relatively new. No idea. Hopefully that won't keep up once we switch to the game screen. Let's take a look. All right. Yeah, no, it goes away on the game screen. It must be something I've got set up on that just chatting screen that maybe I need to look at my filters and stuff and see if there's something screwy going on with those. Anyway, yeah. So we're back and we're playing Pillars of Eternity, and we finally finished the endless caverns of Ad Nua. We killed the Master Below, and now we've got some main story left to do, but I think what we're going to do is try to finish chapter 2. And then before we do chapter 3, we're going to jump into the White March, which is the DLC content. Because once we finish the main storyline, the game ends. So we need to finish. This is what I've been told. We need to finish the White March DLC before finishing the main game. So we'll try to do those, and then we'll go back and finish the main game. There's only 3 chapters, I believe. So I'm thinking by the end of next week, we should be done with this game and ready to spin again. And that's the goal. That's going to be our goal, is just to see how close we can get to that. Elder Gun, good evening. How are you doing tonight? Yeah, guys, like I said, thank you very much for bearing with me. I took that extra day off yesterday. My wife and I celebrating our 24-year wedding anniversary, 29 years as a couple. Next year is going to be even bigger. Next year will be 25th year anniversary, and we've got a cruise planned and a lot of fun stuff for next year. So every year is just another celebration. But like I said, tonight, Pillar of Eternity, Smeech and Company taking on the world. Let's get into the game. Priests are dedicated support spellcasters. We're aware of this. I decided over the weekend, I have got to start. I am really into VR stuff. I know I don't do a lot of VR stuff on the channel. But I'm really into the VR stuff, and I've decided I got to find a way to get some VR video content going.
The keep's coming along nicely.
Oh, man, you're looking good. Elder Gunn just sent me a picture. It looks like of the new glasses. They're looking great, looking sharp. Oh, we are definitely getting rendering lag. From no glasses to trifocals. Let's see, I move around. Okay, that's looking a little better. It was just weird render lag for a minute. But now we're looking okay. You play some VR and record it and then put that on the cyber tangles. What's a cyber tangle? Also, I very much wanted to stay hydrated tonight, so this is what we're going with this evening. This is held next to my head. That's a very large glass of water. Flavored water, but still water. I bet your eyes are freaking out. Going to trifocals would take some getting used to, I would think. Some like real serious getting used to. Okay. What have we got? You have no leads on the White March Part 2. That's okay. What we have right now is the Hermit of Hadrat House. We need to go back to Lady Webb. But first, I think we have something going on here. Yes, we've got a visitor staying. Lord Sidrock. Delson, good evening! How's it going, man? I got your stuff here. It's all here now. All ready to go. Man, it is still, like, it just keeps kicking into some rendering lag. It's skipping frames. Let's see. What are we doing wrong? Let's try something real quick. I'm going to try changing my resolution on my main monitor down to 1080p. Like, the game is supposed to be in 1080p already, but I think it was not. Maybe that will resolve the issue. We'll see.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
The party should be gathered. Voice sounds like you need to hydrate. I do. I do. Oh my goodness, I need to hydrate. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. And if that runs out, I have the extra bottle right here. We're set for the evening. Cyber Tangles, Digimash, the ELAS.
Leave it to me.
Oh boy. Let's see. Is it looking better? Does it look like I'm skipping? Well, we've still got a few frame skips. I'm going to reset those stats and keep an eye on it. See, it's still not. It is. I'm definitely getting skips all over the place. I have got a feeling I am going to need to replace my graphics card. I can't afford that. I'm spending $1,500 tomorrow on a new printer. So I can't afford a new graphics card. You know what? It seems like they get some pretty good views. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm very happy with how, like, we've only been over here on YouTube for, like, what? Are we going on 3 weeks, or has it been 3 weeks? I'm not even sure at this point. I think it's been 3 weeks. So I'm feeling pretty happy about where we're at. You know, I would expect to be at a point on YouTube, like, I would expect it to take a year to reach the goals that I want for YouTube. $1,500 on a printer better be a good printer. It is a good printer. It's a very, very good printer. I'm buying the Bamboo Labs X1 Carbon tomorrow. It's a business expense, so that'll help a little bit. Bet it makes robots. Is it printing platinum? It can print in carbon fiber, but it doesn't print platinum. Man, I've got to figure this out. Something is going on. Let's try, hold on. Let's try a couple of other things here. For one, okay, that's fine. Let's close that. I'm going to make sure that every tab that I've got open that I don't need is closed. Oh, I see a problem here. I didn't hit keep changes after I changed the I changed the resolution on my monitor. I didn't hit keep changes. So it reverted back. That caused our issues. That's why I started dropping frames again. There we go. Now we should be in good shape. Evidently I'm sneaking around. It's a huge engineering step, which means you can print robots. I can definitely print robot parts. 100% will be able to do that. It prints in a lot of different stuff. Now, carbon fiber is expensive, so I doubt I'll be printing in carbon fiber anytime soon. But I will be able to step up from PLA. I'll be able to print like TPA and stuff like that, which will be kind of fun. Their distributor stopped selling video games, so you get your game Thursday? When were you supposed to get it? I can't find this guy. Did I already handle him? It's just not giving me any details. I may have already done whatever this is. Prestigious visitor, leaving in 5 days, 16 hours. I don't know. We've got things to do, so let's head back to the city. This is printer 4. So I've got 2 PLA printers and 1 resin printer. This will be another PLA printer. And I will actually probably think about selling my 2 Ender 3s when this printer arrives. Because the printer I'm buying, the X1 Carbon, is approximately 4 times faster than my Ender 3 printers. So I should be able to make do with just that printer. I could probably afford to get rid of the other 2. What kind of graphics cards am I using right now? An old GTX 1080. It is time for me to start thinking, once I pay that printer off, it will be time to start looking at building a new computer. Rent time to prototypers. Can you still do that? Like, they're so cheap. It's crazy to me, the idea of renting time on them to somebody. I just replaced the drive on one of those 2 Ender 3s with a direct drive. So now it's a little more efficient, a little less hassle. The problem I'm running into right now is that I can't run both of my printers in my office at the same time. We're just drawing too much power in the house. Or in this area. So if I run them both at the same time, they draw too much power. The lights all blink constantly. It's terrible. What flavor of Italian ice? I would love to have them running 24/7 if I had things that sold. And if what I'm actually looking at doing now is possibly moving one into my garage so that it will be on a separate circuit. Here, and seeing if that will, I want to pet you. If I'll be able to get rid of the issues I've been seeing. Oh yeah, the 1080, like, I really, really should have an RTX. Even if it's an older RTX card, I should have an RTX card in my streaming computer. Blue, raspberry, and lemon. There's Hadrit House. We're headed back there. It does go by super fast, doesn't it? I've had mine in this computer for, like, I built this computer just before I started streaming. I built this computer because I knew I wanted to begin streaming.
Hello.
And so that card is a little over 7 years old now. I will. That'd be, yeah, if you wanted one, I'll have one, I'm sure. We may try moving them for now when we get it, if we can keep them running, if I can keep the orders up at the pace that we're getting right now. I'm going to try moving maybe both of them to my garage. There is no way that I can run an Ender 3 and the X1 Carbon on the circuit that I've got it on right now. I will blow everything in my office. The X1 Carbon is it's a big printer that uses a lot of energy. I'm one of the things I'm really excited for is it can print 4 colors. I'm very excited to be able to print 4 colors without having to like manually switch my filaments. What? I don't feel like that's I don't feel like that's too bad for a midlife crisis, man. 5 years, that's nothing in the grand scheme. It seems like a lot when you're going through it, but when you come out on the other side, I think you'll be able to look back and go, "Oh, that was a drop in the bucket of what I've got left." But yeah, you're definitely not foobar. It's just a speed bump, man. It's just a speed bump. For your part in reclaiming Heritage Hill, my lady wishes you to have it here. May it serve you well in battle. What is it? Thank you, whatever it is. You're quite welcome. You have gained an item, St. Garam's Spark. Now I must be off. Farewell. What is St. Garam's Spark? And whose inventory did it go into? I have got a lot of just weird stuff. Oh, it's a pistol. Pistol, 2-hand. Why are pistols 2-handed? I don't know. Let's see if we give that to you. How does that match up to what you currently have? Let's see, 26 to 35, so less damage. But it also has marking, shocking lash, and damage reduction. So, let's give it a shot. I think I'm finally through the worst of it. Even my anxiety attacks are starting to get a little better. Good. It makes me very happy to hear. And we'll get you the stuff. We'll get you some gaming going, and it'll be even better. I know it will. Keep telling myself what I've achieved in the last 20 years because my brain thinks it's nothing. I had the same problem yesterday talking to my wife. I don't know why I tend to get really depressed on major anniversaries, birthdays, anniversaries. There are just certain days where they, by their nature, it makes you look back and go, what have I really done? How did I spend most of my life not enjoying my life? I made the mistake going downtown last night and being around all these college kids, just having a good time. And I'm like, when I was in college, I hated my life and I didn't have a good time. I refused to have a good time. I still don't know if I know how to have a good time. Had I deleted the last 5 years, I would be far worse of a person. Indeed. You're made stronger by the things that you've gone through, man. An Epson XP 5100 is the best printer, copier, and fax machine and scanner I've ever owned. See, I don't do any standard printing anymore. I don't know. I take that back. My wife has a little tiny Canon printer, and I print the packing slips for my 3D printing jobs on her printer, and it could be a $10 printer, and that's all I'd need. But man, having it all in one is probably nice. It's probably nice. I always worried about having it all in one because I feared that if I did and one piece breaks, I lose the whole thing. I have a lot more debt now. You and me both. I certainly have a lot less action in my life than I did back then.
How fares your search?
Well, there is something I can tell you about the Leaden Keys operation.
Let's hear it.
The Ingwithin Tower in Heritage Hill contains an ancient machine that can control the flow of souls. The Leaden Key activated
This
it.
is troubling. That civilization seems to have known more about the mechanics of souls than anyone since. The Leaden Key was born in
That was a long
period.
pause between
It
sentences.
may be that Theos
More
has
degrees and
full
more
knowledge
pills.
of their technology.
More pills is just a
The
fact of getting older, I
applications
think.
of this machine you speak of, I don't want to think about it. That isn't enough to take to the Duke, but we're close. Avar Wolfgren is a cautious man. He will want to know everything possible before being moved to action.
Oh man, yeah. Now, see, that feels like it's been a while. See, I feel like, and I don't know your whole situation, man. But there was like, I feel like I could tell when you start to decline after the fires. Like, I could feel the difference in who you were after the fires. Print a lot of craft and shipping labels, like all kinds of shipping labels. But I have a shipping label printer for that. Funny you should say that. Or maybe not so funny. The Leaden Key is manipulating a group of Ingwithin machines that span the country, and it seems to be causing the Hollowborn epidemic.
I had feared they might be involved in Widewind's legacy. It seemed too extreme even for them. How naive I've been. The Leaden Key's conspiracy is clear now. They have used Engwithan technology to engineer Widewind's legacy, and they want people to blame Animancy for it. As
I mean,
we
Animancy's
speak,
not great
the
either.
Duke is holding hearings in the palace. He is listening to arguments for and against Animancy. When they finish, he is expected to decide whether to outlaw it. It seems the Leaden Key has been pushing Deerwood down this path.
So it is definitely
for some
Deerwood.
time. I, for one, would enjoy seeing their little scheme fouled up at the last moment. Our Duke must hear what you have to say. Unfortunately, the hearings are closed to the public, which makes the Duke inaccessible until they are completed.
Ah, no. Can you send the shipping labels to the warehouse by fax and have them ship the packages? No, that I can't do. For one, I don't have a my warehouse is on the other side of my desk. Like, I could reach over and grab stuff off the shelves to show you right now. So I ship all of my stuff myself. That would be pretty cool, though. Pretty aware of the exact moment I've been emotionally stuck in for the last 10 years. The power company that spawned those fires, and that's... Oh yeah. You messaged me that the other day. Congrats, by the way. It's about time that their accountability has to come through.
However, certain groups have been invited to attend. You might get in with one of them.
I
if
wonder
you
how long
are
it will
above
take
a
them to
little
actually
canyon.
get you the
There
funds
are
that they're supposed to be
delegations
providing.
from the Knights of the Crucible, the Dozens, and from House Dominel. If you can gain the support of one of those groups, that may be your best way in. See what you can arrange.
Well, the Knights of the Crucible and I are already on good terms. House Dominel doesn't really like me. I don't know who the dozens are.
What of them?
When wouldn't they allow a guest of Dunreed Row into the hearings?
We would only do that as a last resort. Walking in with one of the 3 invited groups puts you in a position of influence. Walking in alone as a representative of Dunreed Row would earn you distrust among all the rest. It seems our organization has a reputation for nosiness and manipulation.
Yeah, I wonder
for whatever
why.
reason.
Check will be there in a few weeks. Excellent. So I didn't know that eBay had a service like that. Like it sounds very similar to Amazon's FBA, the Fulfilled by Amazon program. I didn't know that eBay did that. Everything I've ever sold on eBay, I've shipped directly myself, person to person. And I've recently started selling a lot. Like I have not sold much on eBay recently. I sell a lot more on Mercari now than I do on eBay. When I sell prints and stuff, I do that directly. I sell prints directly through Facebook.
It would be best if people did not see Dunreed Row's hand in this. Easier for them to embrace the truth.
What is there that I should know about the
Avar
Duke?
is many things
Even if
to
it looks
many
like it's the
people,
duck.
And that is why he sits the throne. To the frontiersmen, he is one of their own.
None the artist, that's
To the
awesome.
patriotic,
That's really
he is
nice.
a sole descendant of Admeth Hadrit. To the nobility, he is from an old and established family. All of these are half-truths or exaggerations, a tale he has spun around himself.
Also a thing that would make good content, not for this channel per se, but good content. What's also a thing that would make good content?
The man behind the tale may not be the greatest mind in Deerwood, but he knows people. He knows when they are sincere and when they lie. He knows when they are strong and when they are weak. The other matters he leaves to me. Outwardly, he prefers to come off a bit
Delson, have a great
simpleton.
night. It was good talking to you. I hope to see you again real soon. And hopefully,
Before he was a duke,
I'll have
he
this
was a
stuff shipped to
trapper,
you either
and an excellent
tomorrow or
one
the
at
next
that.
day. Kind of depends on when my deposit goes through at my bank. Oh, showing how you work your print business? Ugh. I wish I worked my print business better. If I worked my print business better and had a good business plan in place, maybe that would work. I am working on that. I'm even reading a book, which I don't do. I don't read business books because I'm not really an entrepreneur at heart. But I got this book, and so far it is really good. I really recommend it. If you're trying to build a business on your own, this is really help you with your money management than with your your business. It's called Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. So far, it is very, very good. It's a really interesting idea about how to manage your money. I very much like it. It makes a lot of sense in my brain. I don't know if it would to people who have like traditional business training or business sense. But if you want to check it out, you can usually get it at your library. It's a fairly popular book. Oh, Delson, don't worry about it. And I'll ship it with my regular shipping, and we'll get it out. All right, so get invited to one of the Animancy hearing delegations. The Knights of the Crucible is probably the first place we need to go. That is most likely our inn, since we've already kind of established ourselves with them. That is traditional business sense. Put your profit first. I love how in this book, in his the profit first method or whatever, his concept is really easily that you put your expenses last. His concern is that a lot of people grow their businesses too quickly, and so what they really start growing is expense. Their business gets bigger, but they don't make any more money because they're growing their expenses. And his idea is that you put your profit, your personal compensation, your taxes, all that aside first, and then whatever's left over tells you how quickly you can afford to grow, or how much you can afford to take on in expenses. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, is it First Fires? I think it's First Fires that I need to go to. Delson, have a good night. Started thinking business-wise after being a member of DECA in high school and realizing that if I don't save, then people like your parents and others will drain you dry. So I drained myself dry because I've never had any business since, and I have spent, this was one of the reasons that I ended up leaving my job, one of several that I ended up leaving my job at the end of January, is that I realized I have spent a lot of my life, more than half my life, working to put money in somebody else's pocket. And I kind of got real sick of it. I would still be willing to do that if it was something I just really enjoyed doing and couldn't do on my own. Like when I was making video games. If I go back to making video games, I'd still do that. Because I can't afford to start my own video game company. So I would still be willing to go back to the grind, basically. Otherwise, I was taking money out of my own accounts faster than I could make it, and it wasn't worth it to me anymore. Maximize revenue and minimize overhead, which means profit. See, yes, exactly. And that's the problem, is a lot of entrepreneurs don't do that because they're so focused on the growth of their business that they don't maximize their profits and reduce their overhead, like minimize their overhead. They think that in order to grow a business, they have to grow their overhead. And sure, that makes it look like you have a big business, but if you're not making bigger profits, you really don't. You'll start the game company and enslave me? I mean, if we can make games, I'm kind of there for it. Actually, I should probably just talk to Justicar Aldmar. Okay, Justicar Aldmar is not going to help me join. I'm looking for other people with real names. Half business, half fun. I'm actually not quite there. I'm not quite there. I'm taking everything I do right now, I'm putting 25% aside just for taxes. Because I don't really know what I'll need for taxes, so I'm just kind of guessing and going 25% of everything I sell is for taxes, period. Or everything I bring in is for taxes. And then right now I'm basically going, about 25% of what I bring in is owner compensation, so that goes back to my family. And then the rest is covering expense at this point. Makes me want to eat lie. Most entrepreneurs are bad at business, about 60%. I'm probably worse at business than anyone else. I have no business sense at all. I wouldn't mind learning to invest, and I might start doing that after the year. If what I've done has left me with a surplus after I pay taxes, and I've paid myself, if I end up with a surplus left over, I may consider rolling that into some investments. I'd rather it be rolled into investments than spending it on stuff like just willy-nilly buying a new computer or something like that. Not that I don't want to do those things, but I want to do those in a smart way. Okay, we're looking... Whoops. We're not really looking for these things. We are looking for someone who can tell us about joining. It's not going to be a random Justicar. It's definitely going to be someone with a real name. Wish my cost of living hadn't gone up 400% in 12 months, then I wouldn't have had to tap into my investments. Whew, 400% is insane, man. But you got a 4% raise, right? That sounds about accurate. At least you got a raise.
Don't have the manpower.
Oh, here we go. You don't have the manpower, you say? Maybe I can help with that.
Refugees from every corner of the Deerwood. The dozens getting them all riled up about animancy. At this rate, we'll need twice the soldiers to patrol Defiance Bay. Yes? Can I help you with something?
You're in charge of the Crucible Knights? Here in Defiance Bay, anyhow. The High Justice is the leader of our order, but he's currently stationed at Fleetbreaker Castle. My job is to oversee our forces in Defiance Bay and to keep order for the Duke. Tell me about them. Crosses his hands behind his back. We're the only professional army in Defiance Bay, or in the Deerwood for that matter. We defended the city in Hadrat's day. We've improved our training since then, but Dunrid Row can certify that many of our officers come from good Derwooden fighting stock. Now we're responsible for patrolling the city and keeping the peace. With so many refugees pouring in from the countryside, that's become more important than ever. Unfortunately, that's earned us enemies, particularly among the dozens and some of the more enterprising families in Defiance Bay. Well, what do the dozens have against you? He snorts. They're demagogues and troublemakers. They forget that Defiance Bay is one of the largest cities in the world and not some frontier outpost. Most of them are mercenaries on a good day and street thugs the rest of the time. Needless to say, they've no patience for law and order. And what about the enterprising families? House Dominel, namely. They're one of the city's oldest noble families and its largest criminal organization. Their patriarch, Genmar, has been trying to take advantage of the turmoil to expand his operations. We've kept on top of him, and he hasn't been too happy about that. I see. Was there something else I could do for you? Why don't you have enough soldiers?
Fleetbreaker Castle. The High Justice has summoned almost half of my novitiates and more of my justiciars to a keep on the other side of New Hailmar. It's not for me to question the High Justice's orders, but it's left us short-handed. And mark me, we're just a couple sparks away from anarchy.
Was there anything I can help with? Always refreshing to meet someone who'd rather fix a problem than complain about it. Forge Master Dunstan is working with an animancy scholar to build what we're calling Forge Knights. Warriors that can patrol our streets without suffering fatigue, disobedience, or fear. Some agitators throw a rock at them. We don't have to worry about things getting out of hand. He's constructed the armor, but we need the scholar's research. Unfortunately, she hasn't been around the last few times my novitiates have checked. Viana lives with the rest of the Scriveners out in Copper Lane, but I haven't the soldiers to spare at the moment. Go to the Scrivener's dormitory and see if you can find her. When you get the research, just bring it to Dunstan. This is his area of expertise anyway. Once you've brought him the research, he can sell you any arms or armor if you have need. He forges and repairs all of our equipment. You won't find a more capable smith in Defiance Bay. All right. Going to the Animancy hearing?
Duke Avar looks to the knights for prudent counsel as well as defense. I suspect our future as a city and a nation will depend in no small part on how we handle this matter.
Stock market and trade analyst named Josh, and he keeps me with or helps me with investments. Actually met at Subway. Met at Subway while you were in high school. It's kind of great. That's kind of great. Just here's a random meeting that can help you for the foreseeable future. That's wonderful. What do you think about animancy? We'd be fools not to investigate it further. I've seen what those researchers in Brackenberry can do. Building constructs, diagnosing soul maladies, harnessing raw essence. There's great potential. Detractors say it's too dangerous, that it angers the gods. Superstition and nonsense. There are risks to delving into souls, of course, but the greater risk lies with doing nothing at all while the legacy eats away at us. Tell me about the hearings. He gives you a gruff frown. They're progressing slower than I'd like. The dozens raise a ruckus whenever anyone so much as mentions animancy, and the dominoes are obfuscating matters on purpose. Nevertheless, I'm confident Eovar will see reason eventually. I need an audience with Duke Eovar. I'd like to attend the hearings. Have you found Viana's research for Dunstan? We can discuss favors once you've proven yourself. Alright, let's do that. Scrivener's Dormitory in Copper Lane. We're gonna head out. So, I guess I found my chosen faction is gonna be these knights. Okay, it was Scrivener's Dormitory, Copper Lane is where? Right here. Throw it into fast mode. Why is the game paused? What are you guys doing? Oh, there are villains afoot. Who are these guys? Assassin. That assassin has a spell book, so we're gonna kill him first. Okay. These assassins are not going to live long. Oh my goodness. And we got some grimoires. We got some really cheap looking stuff. And we got a scrawled note. Written on this scrap of parchment is a concise but detailed description of you, including your name, your distinguishing features, and everyone you're known to have associated with in your brief time in Deerwood. That'll teach you, assassins. I have places to go. Things to do. An investment stock is like a sandwich. The bread is the basic standard value of the company. The meat and the filling is the current value. And person buying the investment is the future value. See, you're already a little bit over my head. My goal is to have this stuff figured out by the time I'm 50 at least. Luckily I should have somebody living a lot closer to me soon who knows this stuff and can help me out better. tell you what I decided I needed today, guys. All right, check this out. I got 2 new pairs of glasses this week. So this is not them. Where are they? Oh, there they are. All right, so the glasses I have on right now, you guys have seen them 100 times. These glasses have speakers in them. They are blue blocking, but only very minor blue blocking. I got these glasses this week, and I love them. These are my new blue blocker glasses, and they are amazing. Absolutely amazing. Wonderful. I absolutely love them. Incredible pair of glasses. They're made by a company called Sincere Gear. Wood. They're like wood frames. They're very nice, very nice. So like, look how amber those are. Like no blue. The whole world looks amazing. If these had speakers in them, they would be perfect. The perfect glasses. Product reviews incoming. Yes, yes. Probably not on this. Maybe on this channel. I don't know. And then I also got this. These glasses. These are my new sunglasses that I got for bike riding. I can't wear these on stream. But I know you guys have probably seen it, and I probably told you about it. I hit a deer while I was on my bike. And then another time while I was on my bike, I stopped before I hit a deer, and the deer walked up to me and let me pet it. And I know that these are super unbelievable stories. And they seem to be happening a lot. So I bought these glasses. And these glasses have right here in the middle, there's a little 1080p camera in the middle of these glasses. So when I go on my bike rides, I can just hit a button and I can start recording things like my bike rides and deer that just happen to walk up to me and let me pet them on a bike ride, things like that. I think it's fun. It's kind of, I mean, it's not the highest quality thing in the world, and it is really, really gimmicky and not at all necessary. But I saw them and I was like, oh yeah, I want that. It's so much easier to wear these sunglasses than it would be to mount a GoPro, which I would have to buy also, onto my bike helmet. Totally believable spy cam POV videos. I mean, right? It's not really, I mean, it'd be hard to call this a spy cam because there is an incredibly obvious video camera right here. You're not spying on anybody. Nobody's going to see you in these and not know. And there's a red blinking light on the inside so you can tell when you're recording. So if you're recording, people will know you're recording. It is not a hidden camera by any means. But I wanted to be able to, like, the next time I'm out riding and I happen to run into a deer on a bike, or I see, I don't know, a werewolf or a Bigfoot or something, I wanted to have video evidence of it. Also, maybe, who knows, maybe I'll make a
First,
be able to use
mix
it
between the Rathian reputation from the start of this
What the heck
expansion and
what
the community
happened?
feasts with an absolute ton of
When
rewards.
did that start going?
It shouldn't
Evidently, my live streaming, did my stream end? No, it didn't. Okay, good. That was weird. My YouTube channel, where I'm in the studio, switched from YouTube to a video by Bellular. I just had to go back to my YouTube studio so I can see my stream and my chat and stuff. I don't know what caused that to happen. It's weird. Anyway, we're back now. That's all that matters. I hope everything's still working okay and you guys can still see and hear me. Okay, Scrivener's Dormitory. That's where we're going. Anyway, sorry for the aside. I just got kind of excited, and I was like wishing I could be wearing my real glasses right now, or my real blue blocking glasses. We did finish building something. I wonder how long ago did it switch to that video? I couldn't hear it because I took my glasses off, and I can't hear them if I'm not wearing them. So I hope it wasn't playing that video in the background the entire time. The woodland trail, this is all that's left. We are one step away from completing our keep, it looks like. There we go. Finished in 3 days. Want to pull something up on my other screen real quick. Maybe. Possibly. There it goes. As soon as it switched, you noticed it, and I thought at first it was your dudes talking because you idle too. So did I when I first put my glasses back on. That is what I thought. I thought it was Idir talking at first. Corin?
Greetings.
By Whale's eyeless face, you are one short ogre. But why are you green, and how are you getting the ducks to keep flying around you like that? Let me guess. You just smoked a lot of white leaf, or did you get your hands on some snowcap? I'm not an ogre. I'm not an ogre. Claps his hands and laughs. Snowcap! Snowcap! So few people know Snowcap, much less ogres. He beams at you and nods his head. I'm looking for Viana? I like Viana. She's always talking about metal men, which is strange, since I'm pretty sure she doesn't eat Snowcap. His brow wrinkles. I don't talk about metal men either, and I do eat Snowcap. Huh. Must have hit a button when you put your... that could be. Most likely, because my glasses were sitting on the other side of my keyboard. I must have just hit a key on my keyboard. As long as it didn't play enough that, like, YouTube's gonna shut me down. Anyway, she's not here right now. Flew away to Andra's gift to meet her friend Bessia. No, Clesia? Yes, Clesia. Clesia is the friend she's gone to meet. In Andra's gift. In a house, not a boat. North house, empty house. Andra's gift has a lot of boats. We should go rowing sometime. Okay. Yes, I am a scrivener. I read books, I write books. I once ate a book, but only because it looked like sweet pie. Or perhaps it was sweet pie baked to look like a book? Interesting. Skeleton, good evening. How's it going? I watched your EDF video the other day. Seemed like you were having fun. EDF, how can you go wrong? Shooting some bugs? Were you, I guess you were playing on Discord. Are you, how were you, what were you recording from, I guess is my question. Because you definitely had other people on there. Were you guys on voice chat? I'm going well. 2 hours of recording. Yes. 2 hours of recording ends up getting me about 40 minutes of video, I think. Actually, my last so I've been cutting all the fights out of my my playthrough of Shining Force and cutting 3-hour streams down into about 45-50 minutes. Using Discord and OBS for the recording. But are you playing Earth Defense Force on PC? I didn't even know it was available on PC. Maybe you told me you were playing it on PC and I just had forgotten. Oh! I'm also a collector of herbs, flowers, plants. I sell them. Mostly I eat them. Okay, what do you have for sale? Snowcap! I could get high too. Remove Snowcap Crash immunity to Confused for 600 seconds. Plus 40 defense against charmed attacks. And then at the end you crash. So drugs have crashes. I don't need these things. I'm not into doing drugs. We need to go find Biana and Andra's gift. It is available on Steam. Okay, I see. I thought it was a console only game. So that's why I was a little confused.
Your brother. Did you and he get along?
We got along how brothers do. He used to throw water on me to wake me up in the morning. I used to fill his boots with stinging ants.
My own brothers and sisters are doing very well for themselves, back in Takoa. I don't know that they'd search for me if I were killed so far from home.
Brothers can be
Probably
funny.
not.
I bet you'd be surprised how far they'd go.
Oh. Okay, let's get back to the map. Andra's gift. 24 minutes away. Maybe. All right, it's dark. It's a northern house, an abandoned house. So it's got to be it's got to be one of these two, right? Let's try this one. Okay, these are just addict. They're just random addicts. I don't want to try stealing things because I don't want to have to kill these addicts just because I can. .15 Iron Rain and World Brothers are all available on Steam. Okay, I might have to look at getting them. I
must have seen
miss those
some
games.
amazing sights on your way north.
Sure.
That's it. She's like, sure.
Dwarves?
Oh, there she goes.
I haven't been further south than the Deerwood myself. Maybe I'll come back after I've convinced the Ranganui and see all those things for myself.
I hope you do.
Oh, maybe they like each other, like as friends. The book I'd recommend you read is New Model of Selling to an Unsellable Generation. So what is this book? I mean, obviously it's about selling, but what is its primary hypothesis, its argument? What is its selling point? Just gotta read it and find out. Dadwina. As you enter the room, you see several figures huddled together. They stand at attention, armed, but not in matched gear like the Crucible Knights. At the center of the group, one woman looms over another, holding a flail. She snarls at the cowering figure. You've got pages of research here. You expect me to believe this was just your scratch work? It's nothing, I promise, just my notes. You hear a painful smack as the woman backhands her captive. We know you are meeting with the Crucible Knights. You think they're the only ones with power in the city? They call us the Dozens for a reason. Now I won't ask you again. At a nudge from one of her men, the woman turns and sees you watching, her eyes narrow. You shouldn't be here. I don't like the Dozens now. That's what I've decided. Of course, we knew they were a criminal organization, right? Selling anything to anybody at any time just through your resources and personal salesmanship. So if I were to distill my personal salesmanship into a liquid form, you could fit it in this bottle cap. Of that, I'm almost certain. Why? There you go. Way to be really slow on auto-focusing, camera. This bottle cap right here, of which I now have 2, and I'm keeping them in case of a Fallout level apocalypse. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to hit the mic. Let her go and I'll pretend I never saw this. What's going on here? I'm too nice to say let her go. She tightens her grip on her flail. Nothing you need to know about. Oh, really? Really? Is that the way it's going to be, is it? Ooh, what do you have? Antelope companion? Who chooses an antelope for a companion? It's also a self-help book. I need that. I need that. It's called The New Model of Selling. Let me put it in my notes over here. Oop, where are my notes? Hello, notes. Continue. And it's by Jerry. All right. I put it in my notes so that I can take a look at it and see if I can find it. Maybe my library will have it. All right. So who is a caster? Doesn't seem like it matters much. Did she just disappear? No, she was just far enough back I couldn't see her. Dodwina looks like she might be a caster, actually. I feel like I'm not overly concerned. At this point, I think I'm overpowering absolutely everything at this point. Viana's face is covered in bruises and her eyes are wide with shock and relief. I don't know who you are, but thank you. Rapid hitching breaths punctuate her words. I was sure they were going to kill me. She wipes a tear from her cheek, wincing as her knuckles graze and bruise. No, not good. Not only who has an antelope as a companion, but who brings an antelope indoors, right? An interloper. Ba-dum-bum. What just happened here? I thought I was coming here to meet my, friend from the Republics. It looks like I walked into a trap. She shakes her head. The Dozens must have been watching me for a while. I'd been working on a special project for the Crucible Knights, and they weren't exactly subtle about contacting me. About this project, it deals with a rather rare branch of animancy. No offense, but I probably shouldn't get too specific without Commander Cliver's permission. He's commissioned it after all. She laughs, nervously. And you can see the trouble a little indiscretion has gotten me into. Tell me about yourself. I studied animancy in Ozia. Back in the Valian Republics, I came to Defiance Bay to research local advances, but instead of going to Brackenbury Sanitarium, I found a position as a scrivener at the Temple of Whale. I've had access to many rare manuscripts that most animancers never see. She shrugs. Of course, I've had to keep my head down. I've been careful not to let the head librarian or my colleagues know what I'm working on. Okay, let's get out of here. She gnaws on the split lip. Commander Cliver of the Crucible Knights is waiting on my research. Not that you haven't already done a lot for me, but maybe you could take it to him? I kept it with me to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands, but you can see how well that worked out. She nods at Dodwina's corpse. She took it from me when I arrived. She takes a deep breath. Anyhow, don't wait on me. I can make my own... Yeah, sure you can. You weren't almost dead. We can get a flail. It's a fine flail. Viana's research. Anything else in here I need to note? There, yep. We can get some hammers and chisels. And we collected some taxes. The Antelope Interceptor. I feel like I went with the most boring option by using a boar as my companion. No pun intended. Oh, Smeech found a hidden object. What'd you find, Smeech? Ah, nice. Is it back? It's back to first fires. I'm really hoping we can finish chapter 2 tonight. I'm not sure how much we have to go. Boar and fox make sense. They're basically just dogs, aside from the tusks and truffle
we have a
sniffing.
memorial for the Saints' War. They say a Rawatari
I mean, it's no sentient
contributed to the
rock,
god
but
Hannibal.
it'll do. It's also definitely no floating skull.
Help the deer wood. Maybe your Ranganui lied, Amawa. On second thought, I'll ask her there.
Or a baby mimic. Baby mimic is also a good pet. All right. Just money, I guess, was all that was for or about. We can start hiring people soon. We've got lots of money, so we'll be able to afford to actually hire our guards soon. Is that a fox with 3 tails, or is it just a weird graphic for the tail? I've got Viana's notes. Well done. Bring them to Dunstan at once. When you've finished, I may have some more work for you. Okay, where is Dunstan? In the barracks? Oh, Dunstan's at the forge. Dunny, what's up?
This is about the breastplates. I already told Cleaver they won't be repaired till next week.
I think this is what you've been looking for.
That's what Cleaver's been looking for anyway. If you found it, I guess I've got to start.
You don't sound too happy about this. I'm not. I'm surprised someone as compassionate as you is going along with it. I've made it clear to Cleaver that this is a mistake. Trying to harness souls like this, it's a crime against the gods, and it's bound to earn us more trouble than it saves. But Cleaver's given me his orders, so I've got to build these things as best I can. Anyway, Cleaver's told me I'm to sell you any arms or armor you might want. You won't find better anywhere in Defiance Bay, I can promise you that.
Now, time to see if that Valian was worth all that blood and copper.
I'm a little sad that that makes me seem
I'll
less
be
compassionate.
To be honest, even I wasn't expecting it to work this well. Back to it. Cleaver will want me to finish the rest of them. And it sounded like he has a job for you, too.
All right, what do you have for sale? Not... Ooh, the White Spire. Who is sending me messages? I need to put my phone on silent so you guys don't have to keep hearing that. There we go. All right, the White Spire, disorienting minor spellbind blizzard. It's an S-stock. Heldrick's coat, heavy armor, sturdy, freeze-proofed, and exceptional. I don't know that I need that. Oh, damage resist 14. That's pretty nice. We can also go ahead and sell some junk while we're here. Anything that's just garbage. We don't want to sell the grimoires that are maybe real grimoires. We will sell these spears. Loads of daggers. I could enchant these maybe and turn them into really good stuff, but I just don't feel like it. And I don't feel that it's going to be necessary at this point. We have so much junk. Starting to wish there was a sell. Wait, we can. Oh, okay. Can we do that? Enchantments, low to high. Sell value, low to high. None. Why, when I go with sell value, does it only show me stuff that is not, that is enchanted? Why do I not get to see my normal stuff? And this is stuff I'm not worried about. That's gear and things. I'm not worried about it either. So there we go. We're going to make 3,000 copper. Trade that. We're good to go. What do you call two bums fighting over a piece of string cheese in a back alley? Back alley acrobats. I don't think I get it. Don't think I get it. Also, I don't think we should call people bums. They're just people experiencing homelessness. There but for the grace of God go we, as they say. I could definitely have ended up homeless. I have been homeless a time or two. Never for a long period. Thankfully, I've had family and friends who could help me out. But I did have to live in a friend's basement for 3 or 4 months.
The life of a traveler. So many ruins to uncover, places
Oh
to
wait,
see.
I wasn't supposed to leave.
Indeed.
I wasn't supposed to leave. I needed to go talk to Cliver again. Or Cleaver, whatever. Tightrope, string G's, acrobats. Okay, I kind of get it. What does this do? Whoa! I can make that go away! Look at that! All this time. We can't make those go away, but it's kind of cool that we can make this stuff go away. Was there more you need me to
Dunstan will
do?
complete the first squad of Forge Knights in no time. Now the High Justice will want to have his Forge Masters at Fleetbreaker Castle create more. I've made a copy of Viana's research, and the High Justice has sent a courier to Anslog's compass to retrieve it. The dozens have gotten too active for the courier to come to Defiance Bay.
So we need to
After
carry this
Viana's
research to
kidnapping,
Anslog's compass.
We've got to assume they know about our plans. That's why I'm sending you to deliver the research. You shouldn't be recognizable to the dozens.
I bet you're wrong. I bet the dozens do, in fact, attack me. We're in the thick of it now. If the High Justice is involved, considering a political career out here, Smeech? Yes, actually. But after this, I expect they'll learn of your association with us, and they won't be too happy about it. Neither will the Dominels. They're trying to expand the family business, and they resent us for standing in the way. I need someone who can handle any unexpected contingencies. You've proven yourself equal to any threat, both in my service and in Defiance Bay. Consider it done.
Anslog's compass is a small lagoon just north of Defiance Bay. Your contact.
Homeless out of revenge,
named
not
Oliver.
necessity.
She'll meet you by the docks.
I was not homeless
Return
out
to
of
me when you're
anything,
finished.
but
The High Justice has made the
well,
expansion of
I
the
can't really
Forge
say that.
Knights his
I
top
was homeless out of
priority,
necessity
which means
only
it's
by
mine as well.
means or reasons of my own incompetence. I was not good at handling my money when I was younger. And I made bad decisions. I got myself a lot of student loan debt. Then I didn't make payments on them, and I didn't get them into forbearance in time. So they started just taking money away from me. I got laid off. I had children that I couldn't afford to have at a time when I was young and had no money coming in. I was in bad shape for a while. I've come a long way since then, luckily. It has not always been an easy road. The local mafia is not happy with me, and I just joined I'm working on joining an order of knighthood. We came to a point in the game where you could choose from 3 factions. This is an order of knighthood that kind of are peacekeepers, but they may be a little overbearing, it seems, is a possibility. There is a criminal faction that we're going to have to start contending with now. And then there's a family, there's a zealotous faction that's I'm also going to be contending with at this point. 4,020. Oh, crud. Oh man. Because of my thing yesterday, I got sidetracked and forgot to give you guys your points. Let me see. Let's get that done real quick. You should have a lot more shinies than that. And so I'm going to fix that. Yep, there's my printer page. So excited to get to buy my printer tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be here by the beginning of next week. Just in time for me to go on vacation at the end of the month. Let's go here and get points updated. Whoops. Oop, go back. I don't want to log in with Twitch. I want to log in with YouTube. Log in. Log in with YouTube. There it goes. Okay, so let me go to my CloudBot. And we want to go to loyalty. And here we go. Add points. So everyone who was formerly a follower on Twitch, raise your hand. All right. If you were formerly a follower on Twitch, because the points from Twitch I was not able to import those. It wouldn't let me. I am just automatically granting everyone who is a Twitch follower just a one-time bonus of 10,000 points. So congrats on that. Enjoy them while they last. There we go. Squig raise a pinky toe. Oh, thank you very much, Squig. Lived with a divorced father that was never home and was stuck in a rural mouse-infested home with a town that only owned a Subway restaurant and a pizza place. Constantly broke. I feel you. All right, Skeleton. I hope we see you again. Make it rain, Smeech. Here you go. Have fun. So there we go. Everyone who has been on the channel long enough to have earned points at all, who was a viewer, a former like follower over on Twitch, I've gifted you an extra 10,000 points. Do with whatever you feel like you want to do. And then there are people on here who I don't know if they were followers on Twitch, but probably not. And there were people who were followers on Twitch that we have seen over here before, but who have not been on the stream long enough to have earned any points. Or to have earned like any points at all. So those people don't get anything. Too bad for you. No so for you. Okay, back to the game. Sorry. I'm going a little crazy tonight if you can't tell. Okay, let's head out of town. Someone is definitely cooking something in my house. Can't tell what it is. I think it's burned popcorn. I didn't realize I was sitting there this whole time with the game paused. Okay, I'm just dumb. Okay, now where we're going is... I have still never been over into Twin Elms. I don't know how to get to those. I can't actually reach them from here. Anslog's Compass, right? Was where I was going? Hold on. I better check. Yes. Pants! There should always be a pants command. No! No pants! I thought the whole point was to not have pants. Goes into a major... I started it, but I haven't finished it yet. Okay, something just happened. Bad visitor leaving in 4 days, 6 hours. Wait, what happened? Okay. Aloth was able to successfully reach the rabble-rousers and warn them in time for their escape. Lord Bernwigar's lands lie abandoned, but no blood has been shed. A wanted criminal by the name of Nirni the Deft Hand has arrived at the stronghold. Payoff. I don't know what this payoff is. -1 to my reputation. And -3 to my security. I don't like it, but we might have to go hurt this guy once we finish what we're doing here. Meet by the docks. Feel like people need a disclaimer or else they yell at me. Oh, don't worry about it. I don't need a disclaimer. Computer was very unhappy that I didn't update it to the latest version the moment it was released. Windows gets that way. Macs are starting to get just as bad. 2 pants means to forcibly remove one's pants. Stream just shows you how bloody the game gets. Man, it just... like I said, I haven't finished the stream yet because well, here's the thing. It was like 3 hours and something long, but I think like the first hour and 30 minutes or something was the stream will be starting soon. But what I've seen of the game so far just looks incredible. Did Commander Cleaver send you? Yes. Hello.
Good day to you.
There we go. She wouldn't talk to me at first. I am a rich man. Sorry. I'm not going to be able to get that song out of my head the rest of the night now. The woman sizes you up, squinting against the glare from the water. You've come from the Crucible Keep, I take it. I was told you'd have something for me. Here it is. Excellent. I should get this back to the High Justice before... She looks over your shoulder at the sound of approaching footsteps. Too late. Get ready. And now the song's in your head. It's gonna stay there too. It's gonna be like, what do they call that? An earworm? Paydebald. This man's face is twisted into a snarl. Are you mad? You hold the secrets to one of the foulest examples of animancy, and you want to hand it over to the Crucible Knights? He shakes his head. It's an abomination. Caged souls used as weapons, and you'd give these silk stockings an army of them? Well, yeah. I don't like that. I don't like the idea of caging souls. I don't know where these souls, like the whole soul thing in this game is a little odd. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I have liked what I've played of it, but I kind of quit after the opening area. How far into it are you? I like it. It's kind of slow moving. I thought about playing it on stream, but because it's slow moving, I'm not sure anyone would want to watch it. Beautiful game, though. Absolutely gorgeous game. Thought you found another place today in Oregon, but when I called, they told me the rent was $875, but the owner didn't put in AC or fans. Can put up with no AC if it had ceiling fans. I know Oregon... I don't know. Are they recovering from their housing crisis? Oregon, particularly the Portland area, was having a really, really bad housing crisis for a while. No. Okay. No, they're not. Is anyone recovering from their housing crisis yet? He raises his axe, tightening his grip around the haft. I can't let you do this. The research must be destroyed. I'd like to see you try. Spoken like a true smeech. You know what?
Hey.
You go over here and kill this guy. We're just gonna... Everybody can just focus on their own guy. It'll be really fun. We'll see how long it takes to kill them all.
Yes?
Although I can only actually see 4 of them.
Just say the word. Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed.
Let's do it. Yeah. Yeah. Let's not even give any instructions. Let's just see what happens if I don't give anybody any instructions. Nobody else? Everybody's just gonna stand around and do nothing?
You better.
Okay. It was worth trying. Erin Road wipes her blade of the lining of her cape, on the lining of her cape. I'll take that as our cue to leave. With the dozens growing so bold, there's no time to waste. She strides back to the waiting boat. Give my regards to the commander and watch your back out there. Because now I've made enemies of the dozens. We got a fine large shield though. Anything else? A grimoire of a dozens wizard. Carry that grimoire around, please. Until we bring our sorcerer with us. And here we go. Back to town. A little bit past the opening and on the home village island, so not far. Okay. That's about how far I got before I stopped playing. Which is sad because I played the heck out of Odyssey. I'd really like to go back and play Origin and play Valhalla. I know most people really hate the open world Assassin's Creed games. I love them. When you refuse to learn from the past or solve a problem, it's more like a drought flood cycle and endless housing crisis. Larian Stream does show you a new character, but they told you nothing about the story of him. He's basically the murder hobo character. They wanted for players to be evil. Says to me, you want to be evil? I said, yeah, baby, yeah. Go ahead. If you want to see me play Dark Souls, you put every last shiny that you can get your hands on into Dark Souls. I'm good with that. I'll play it eventually, and it will be fun. Mostly. And we will find every way we possibly can to cheese everything. Because the one thing I am not is good at it. All upgrades on the Stronghold achievement unlocked. Completed all the upgrades. Yay! You can resist the urges, but you can also just give in to all of them. He's just that option. I love it. Oh, I forgot. I was supposed to go back home. How long do I have? 2 days. I probably better do that real fast. It's gonna take me like a day just to get there. I'm gonna be pushing it as it is. It is kind of nice to give you an option just for a fun way to play through. Really like Origin and Odyssey, but I've never finished never finished any Assassin's Creed games. I platinumed.
Spirits in this
I was
place
too
have
late.
begun to heal.
Evidently. Anyway, I platinumed Odyssey and all of its DLC. And man, I really, really, really enjoyed the whole thing. It'll eventually be like 99%, right? I don't know if anything's ever got past like 75%. It still cracks me up every time something that's like 6% of the wheel ends up winning. That will be cool. Where are these people in my keep? Like, where are they? Near the Deft Hand is supposed to be here somewhere. And then the supplicant from seeking 500 CP or an escort. Do I have anyone? Hold on. That should be a nice, easy one. Do I have anyone who could be an escort? If ignored, you lose prestige. Plus 0 security for 3 days. Minor reputation with defiance made negative. I want to just kill this guy. Didn't it say this guy's a criminal? A wanted criminal by the name of Neri the Deft Hand has arrived at the stronghold. But where are you?
Gods keep you.
Look at all the stuff I've got waiting for me here. Yeah, getting distracted by other games is pretty easy to do. That makes sense. They switch it to Tactician. Let me know how much it scares you. Playing the whole game on Tactician. Okay, that'll be interesting to see.
Half of Masuk in here, including our foxes.
Okay, I'm gonna look around for this guy. If I don't find him, I guess I'm just gonna pay him off. He is a smooth criminal. And let's just get another song stuck in my head, why don't we? It's making me miss music nights even more. See the fat devs just get murdered. Ah, come on. Where? Maybe he's just not in the keep? Surely we didn't stick him in the dungeon. I don't even know how to stick somebody in the dungeon yet. We built dungeons so that we could take prisoners. Maybe he's staying in the house.
The stones and the spirits in this.
So the goal before the next I don't know if you guys saw it, but just in case you're looking to upgrade your computer, while Prime Day is still going on, you can get a 2 terabyte NVMe drive for $70 today. So before the next, I'm not buying them. I have two 1 terabyte drives that I'm going to put in. But that's my goal before we start the next PC game. Get that card in and start installing games on the NVMe drive. It should load a whole lot faster that way. Yeah, $70 for a 2 terabyte NVMe is a really good price. Graphics cards did not come down a whole lot that I saw. You could get a 3060 for about $400, which is okay, I suppose. All right, I'm not sure this guy is here, and I'm a little over searching for him. So we're going to pay him off, I guess. I guess this means I'm going to lose this no matter what, and that kind of makes me angry. I would consider buying a new graphics card if I wasn't buying the printer. Although the printer is a business expense and I really need to purchase it. But it costs about the same as a decent new graphics card. But putting a new graphics card into this computer would be... It feels wasteful. Like, I'm running an i5 from 7 years ago. It seems like a waste to put to put a big engine in a compact car. Just seems wasteful to me. My power supply is good. I have a 1,000-watt power supply in my computer. It should not have a problem. All right, Squig, we'll see you when you get back. Yes, I should. I need to build an entirely new computer. I need to upgrade my motherboard. I need a new processor. It will be time to do that over the course of the next year. That's probably what we will be saving for over the course of the next year, and it'll probably be about this time next year that we actually get it done. You know, unless I get a really good high-paying job out of nowhere, or someone wants to sponsor the stream or something like that. Oh, wait, whoa. There are dead people here. Rogue Forge Knights. We knew the Forge Knights were going to turn evil. This is bad.
Fourth while in combat.
Am I still in? Who am I in combat with now? Addendum Winds of Steel. I've returned to the Crucible Keep only to find that the Forge Knights have run amok. The Crucible Knights seem to be fighting a losing battle. I don't know what went wrong with the Forge Knights, but perhaps Commander Cleaver can explain if he survives the battle.
Can't get a good shot.
How are these Forge Knights casting? Darn Warforged spellcasters. I mean, that's basically what the Forge Knights are, right? They're just Warforged with a different name.
You're mine.
And the Knights are in the middle of a coup, most likely, or the Leaden Key has found a way to influence the Forge Knights. Can't talk. We can talk once these knights have been killed. Okay. That's fair. We just gotta find all of them. Probably in the forge. I hope they didn't kill. Yep. I hope they didn't kill Dunstan.
Death to our enemies.
I'm probably Dunstan must be dead. Probably going to wish I had gone with the dozens now, aren't I? I hate the idea that the dozens were right. Pity. Wait, is that Dunstan? Yes, Dunstan's still alive!
1 minute. My justiciars were training the Forge Knights. In the next, they were being cut to pieces. But the survivors owe their lives to your skill. You fought valiantly, worthy of any seasoned soldier. In fact, I'm naming you an honorary justiciar.
Yes!
As
I'm a
reward for your
justiciar.
service, please accept this blade and armor, worthy of a knight of the Crucible. If there's anything else I can do for you, you need only ask. I'll send word to Fleetbreaker Castle immediately. We clearly didn't understand the Forge Knights as well as we thought.
Oh, I hope they get there in
For
time.
now, we'll have to continue recruiting the old-fashioned way.
Forge Knights are obviously too unpredictable to use safely.
I'm glad you agree with my assessment of the situation.
Wait, Smeech was granted second
I'd listened
skin.
to Dunstan. None of this would have happened in the first place.
I don't know what that means.
I won't make that mistake again.
Gain an item Shame or Glory added to inventory. Crucible Knight Officer Armor added to inventory. And we got second skin. Oh, you gotta find out what that is. We're gonna say goodbye for a second. Most powerful enemy defeated. Smeech's most powerful enemy defeated was Consulate. Ancient Death Guard, Ancient Death Guard, Ancient Death Guard, Ancient Death Guard. Wait, who defeated the Master Below? Consulate was worse than the Master Below? Resting bonus, boots of the long march, driving foot pads, protective skin, second skin, plus 2 armor damage reduction. Ooh, we got Shame or Glory as a sword, 14 to 21 slashing and piercing damage. Valiant? What's that do? Valiant. Plus 10 accuracy when below 50% endurance. Plus 20% damage while endurance is below 50%. Can we add other enchantments to it? We totally can. We can totally add more enchantments to it. Like Burning Lash or Corrosive Lash. I don't know what's the best here. Corrode damage. Burn damage. I like burn damage. Burn damage seems good. And then we can put Vessel Slaying on it. Now that's a weapon. It is already fine. We could make it exceptional. Superb legendary. But we need the right items. Ooh, look at that. And then let's give that to you. We'll replace the Whispers of the Yinwood. He gets a bonus with the sword. Let's... Wait, what is this? Sneak attack bonus. Hello. We probably could stand to just throw some stuff in to our savings here. The Edge of Reason, is that better than your axe? What's your axe? Fine battle axe with Burning Lash, Kith Slaying, and is exceptional. This has superb bonus crit damage and draining. Does more damage. What bow is this? Windigar. I need to find out if that's better than Smeech's current crossbow. Current crossbow is the Good Friend. It definitely does more damage. Speed, Predatory, Superb. Coordinating, Minor, Spellbind, Holy Power. And Fine. Can we enchant it also? To give it Shocking? Let's give it Shocking. And we can't give it slaying because it doesn't have enough points. There we go. Now we've got some. Whoa, what was this? The iron clasp. All right. I7 9800 does freeze, slow, or stop enemies. It might slow them a little bit, but not much. I think it's more like some enemies that are weak against ice damage. If I had enough, I'd buy an I9. Me too. Build's gonna take you a few years. Taser bow. Exactly. Exactly.
Just say the word.
That's a Smeech thing to have. If we can't have a taser bomb, we'll have a taser bow. Taser bomb would be more Smeechly, though. Okay, now let's talk to him after we do a quick save. All right, Commander. About that invitation to the Animancy hearings. And we'll be glad to have you with us. Avar will no doubt find your presence persuasive, and we need all possible support to see that he gives Animancy a fair chance. Lie, indeed. Was there something else I can do for you? Nope, that's it. All right, return to Brackenbury and speak to Lady Webb. Back to Madam Webb. Haravius just returned.
So you will go to your king and what? Implore him to curb his violent impulses at the word of a heroic academic.
Let's see, what did we find out? Venturing into the depths of the White Wreath Well, Haravius discovered that while the foundations of the well were made of a living Adra, the source of the sounds were whites that had been dropped into the well by their mothers. In total, a dozen women from White Wreath and the surrounding woods had dropped their children into the well after they learned they would turn into whites. Some had died, but many survived the fall, living on small rodents and other creatures that wandered the ruined Ingwithan tunnels under the well. Oh, geez. Haravius was forced to fight the aggressive whites, but eventually emerged and told the village that what had transpired. Some of the mothers confessed what they had done immediately. Others fled the village. In the end, no one had the desire to punish anyone for what had happened. Why not?
You don't usually grace me with your
Hand
flattery,
crank, but also
Priest.
instead of traditional
What
crossbow, it
merits
would
this
use
attention?
electromagnetic
All
propulsion.
our type's
Yes!
history is war.
Yes!
Same as everyone.
That would be
If
so
only the
cool.
world-
That's this is the reason that I play Smeech as a artificer in my current game, one of the current games I'm playing, where I am actually playing a version of Smeech who is an artificer, who's actually basically Iron Man. That version of Smeech thinks that he's a gnome, though. He doesn't know that he's a goblin because he was a goblin who was raised by gnomes. And no one in the party has ever seen him out of his armor. So they all think he's a gnome as well. I did not want to come back here. I need to go upstairs first. Intel Core i9 12900K gaming desktop processor with integrated graphics and 16 8P plus 8E cores, up to 5.2 gigahertz unlocked, LGA 1700 600 series chipset, 125 323. 323. That's not bad if you've got the motherboard for it already.
How fares your search?
Want to discuss the
What
animancy
of
earrings.
them?
The Knights of the Crucible have accepted me into their
Good.
delegation.
Avar Wolfgren looks to the Crucible Knights as a voice of reason and order. Speaking from their section should lend you credibility with him. You need waste no more time here. Get to the palace. Make your case to the Duke. With him on our side, all of Deerwood can be mobilized against the Leaden Key and
An
Thales
orc
to be rooted
adopted
out.
by gnomes. That's
I only
awesome.
wish I could
But does
be
he
there to
actually
see
think of
it.
himself as a gnome?
There is a very old bottle of a very good brandy that I have been saving for a special day.
Modifying the ammunition would be better for
If
effect,
you
but
hurry
adjustments to
back
the crossbow
afterwards,
itself would include a
There may be a
modified.
little left for you.
Why?
Off
I
with
hate
you.
having that little button
You're going
there.
to do very well in there.
I think I need to turn that off. I think there's a way I can turn that button back off. Do you guys have that button that has a little heart next to it that you can like hover over and you can do like some different emojis? I don't like having it there. Not where it's at. I wish it was down here where the chat thing is. I don't know why it's up there. But it keeps covering up parts of people's chat. They figured out he was adopted even though they didn't want to tell him.
I've told you everything you need to know. It's only right that you know everything. When I was younger, before Dunreed Row, I had many suitors.
Oh,
These were fine-looking men of good stock. But I could see their thoughts, and they were unimpressive. Boys' thoughts. I toyed with their affections. I resented all of them. And then I met a
unless
man
you switch
whose
to
mind
landscape
was
mode
a
on your phone,
mystery
you have
to
that.
me.
Yeah.
But he understood
I think it's something
me.
that I've done that I've
He
turned on
knew
in the
me
channel
at a
that I need to find a
glance.
way to turn back off.
Told me things I didn't know about myself. He was neither handsome nor charming. He was all I ever wanted. We made a game of my gift. He would ask me about people, and I would tell him what they were thinking. Sometimes the information was very sensitive.
Harnesses his barbarian rage
And
to
then
play the
one
drums
day
in a
he asked
thrash
me if
metal
I
band.
trusted him. I
Wonderful.
said I did.
That's
Next
a way
I
to
knew, I
put
was
that rage to
donning a
use, I
silver
guess.
mask and swearing oaths to Woodica. Using my gift for the Leaden Key still felt like a game to me, so I did it. I did it because it pleased him. I don't like living in the dark. It's a powerless, hopeless feeling. Every day I did things without knowing their purpose. Every day I loved a man without knowing his thoughts of me. I sensed that there were things he wanted to tell me. I sensed that he knew everything the Leaden Key was created to hide. But Theos was unyielding. One day I disappeared without a word. They
Oh
would
no.
kill me for it, and I knew that. It's their rule. I just wanted to see him plunge the knife, because then I would know. But the day never came. He has left me to wonder. I have devoted my years to learning everything I could about him, in hopes I would
It's a
find
lot of
some
exposition.
clue as to who he really was, and why he felt he had to keep his secrets locked away. I have precious little to show for it. Just an
So an
old
i7
woman
combo
mad
with the
by
motherboard
old
for
thoughts.
$689. Also not bad. That's a great place to start. I wonder if I got I've already got a case. if I got just a new motherboard and processor, I wonder how much of what I've got, like, I probably need to buy new RAM, but most of my drives should still work on a new motherboard. Then I would just need a new graphics card, really. As long as my existing power supply works, that's one I would need to worry about. And most of the rest of his furniture. Oh, why have I not watched Dimension 20 yet? When am I going to find time to watch another show?
And that is truly everything I can tell you about Theos. I hope you will accept this embarrassing story as a show of my good faith.
Okay, have we already discussed this? Okay, we have. Attend the hearings at the Ducal Palace in First Fires. You did manage to get your hands on the floppy drive? I knew you were looking at one. Punishing yourself for some abstract guilt. Yeah, that's what I do. Skelefun, that's what you do. Punishing yourself by putting Windows 95 on a floppy drive. So is it one of the old school, like, the big, fat, wide floppies? Is it going to work? Did you get your adapter for it? I don't know if you guys are aware of this. My first Windows 95 installation was on a floppy disk. Was on many, many floppy disks. In fact, I also owned Windows 98 on floppy disks for a while. Okay, where... First Fires? Is it back in First Fires? I think it is. You can upgrade an i9 set with the motherboard for $709. Gotta have $709 though. Won't be happening anytime soon. I've got a lot of expenses for my next year, unfortunately. I have to pay off a cruise before next July. A more modern one by Sony, 3.5. That I had to find an adapter for it to fit my... Oh. My Windows installations were on 3.5s. Not 5 1/4s. The last Windows... I did have a Windows 3.1 on 5 1/4s a long, long time ago. But I don't actually remember ever installing Windows 3.1 from 5 1/4s. I just owned it. Because I think when I had Windows 3.1, it came with both versions of it. I did eventually have a CD version of 95 and 98 also, and
Good day,
ME.
stranger.
The young woman wears a simple but well-tailored uniform. She watches the comings and goings around her with quiet attention. Any news to share, or are you just here to see the Ducal Palace? What's the Ducal Palace? It's the seat of government here in Defiance Bay. This is where the Duke Admeth Hadrat declared freedom from the Adiran rule some 150 years ago. And it's also a hotbed of regional politics. Trust me, the gossip here beats what you'll find in any tavern or brothel in the city. Ah, Deerwood politics. It changes too quickly to be worth keeping up with. Better to strike up conversation in the taverns than try to loiter inconspicuously in the palace corridors. Win 95? I think you could. No, you might not have been able to get Win 95 on 5 1/4. But I know you could get it on 3.5. Did I say it the other way around? Because that's not what I meant. 3.5 is how I got Windows 95 when I first got it. At least you can map out a gaming computer if I want one. Right? I did that for about a year before I built the one I'm on. Convert a Lord of the Rings game from 500. Do you remember that Lord of the Rings game? That Lord of the Rings game was terrible. It was so incredibly hard and not particularly fun. A zip disk drive. Okay, so I actually still have a zip disk drive. I don't have any zip disks for it, but I do have a zip disk drive. And I had a zip drive on my Packard Bell computer back in 1995. I'm a page here at the palace. I deliver messages and run errands for the Duke and his advisors. The pay is not great, but I can't think of a better introduction to politics. Where to start? We've got meetings, public hearings, and ceremonies, and that's just the stuff that happens out in the open. This is where the Duke and his key advisors work, so there's always someone bartering for a favor. Unfortunately, I'm not at liberty to talk about that side of things. But if you wanted the official version, we have a shrine devoted to Magran, official records, and chambers for public hearings and council meetings. Tell me about the Shrine of Magran. It's a symbol of Magran's protection of Defiance Bay. She's represented in revolutionary spirit of the Deerwood ever since independence, and her involvement in creating the Godhammer bomb only affirmed her importance to us. That's also where the first of the sacred fires burns, but Firga, the Tranquil Ardent, has had trouble keeping them lit. I still have mine. It's a portable hard drive. It has never failed me yet. The USB drive is funky, but the FireWire port still works 15 years later. 2000, got it. Didn't get it until 2005. Uncle Skip's giant fish. Oh, he had an Oscar. He actually had several over the course of his life, I guess. A mini disc drive on a newer computer so I can plug in and autoplay the classics. I have somewhere in my desk, I have a USB 3.5-inch floppy drive. I have a few discs for that. Couldn't have been more than 8 or 9 at a time. I remember playing Starflight 1 and 2 on floppy disks. Oh man, I loved those games. That would be an interesting game to play. Nobody would watch that on stream, I can guarantee it. Mostly toll official stuff, consensus counts, tax records, militia registers. Now I keep my distance. I got curious one day and got drafted into reshelving half of the records. Worst day of my life. Is there a hearing going on right now? Sure is. Duke Avar has been meeting with some of the city leaders for weeks now, trying to figure out how to address the legacy. The whole business is terribly secret, though. I tried to sit in the gallery during my lunch break one day and got turned away. But a lot of talk concerns animancy, so there's good reason they're keeping the meetings behind closed door. Why is animancy so controversial? Where to begin? Traditionalists think it's a crime against the gods. There's no question of that poking around in souls is risky. But the more progressive elements believe it's our only shot at restoring healthy births. And it doesn't help matters that animancy research often involves old Ingwithan relics that were illegally looted from ruins in Ire Glanfath. What do you think? Me? I think the real danger of animancy is confusing the real scholar with an expensive fake. We get a new case here every day. Some poor people in the Gift or Copper Lane who spent every copper they had on a miracle cure for their unborn child. It never works. Breaks your heart, but there's usually nothing we can do for them. I see. Let's ask about something else. Tell me something about the current Duke. That would be Avar Wolfgren. Don't let the title fool you, though. Our Dukes have been elected since independence. Some find Duke Avar rather coarse. He's a frontier noble. Personally, I think a rough and tumble type is just what Defiance Bay needs. We have two things to do while we're here. of course, we have the actual quest that we're working on to finish chapter 2. We also have, not this one, this one. We are looking for the records archive while we're here for Adair's quest. We don't really need the Shrine of Magrin. We don't really need to go here. There's the records archive right up there. First album was recorded on mini disc. More people would watch that. Steve that watched the movie. Oh, that was Wing Commander. Yes. Wing Commander. I did not own Wing Commander. I owned a cheap knock. So the first Wing Commander game that I think I actually owned was the one that had Mark Hamill in it. But I owned a cheap knockoff of the original Wing Commander called Mantis. It was one of the early CD-ROM games that I owned.
Hello.
A taciturn man with graying hair pores over a tome he's just withdrawn from one of the shelves. He glances up at you with baggy eyes. Yes? Is there something I can pull for you? I'm looking for militia records from the time of the Saints' War, trying to find out what happened to someone. We've had a number of inquiries about such information. I'm afraid we've had to bar access to the public. Seems there are still quite a number of folks in Deerwood who bear ill will towards Red Serens. I hope I'm saying that correctly, or close to correctly. It would be irresponsible to surrender their names to just anyone. Many come here to settle here as refugees. Perhaps if you were more established in Defiance Bay, things would be different, but I have no reason to suspect you to be any different from the others. There is something peculiar about the Records Keeper's inflection. The differences are subtle, but it does not sound like any native Deerwoodan you've heard. I just need to find out about my brother. I don't even know what side he fought for. You must understand, I have heard so many such stories. I'm afraid there is nothing I can do for you. We'll come back. We have to get more established. The Records Keeper is unwilling to show us records from the Saints' War, citing concerns about vengeful Deerwoodans hunting down Red Seren refugees. He said things might be different were my reputation in the city stronger. So I'm going to need to come back when my reputation gets stronger. That's what it comes down to. The place has been reserved for you on the balcony. Go to the upper floor. Okay, we'll just need to find our way to the upper floor. Did I just go back outside? I did. All right, let's head back in then. Oh, okay, I need to go in over here. The room below is animated amidst a heated debate. All the representative groups are easily discerned in the crowd. Crucible Knights, stiff in their noisy armor, sit in one section. In another are well-dressed members of House Dominel, casual, watching with a predator's interest. Still elsewhere are the ramshackle dozens, who have made no special effort to dress up for their liege lord. Interspersed are animancers in their academics' robes, with expressions either sour or concerned.
Well then, answer me this, Master Barash. If you animancers represent our best hope to cure the legacy, what progress can you demonstrate?
Yes, answer that, Master Barash.
As I've said, it isn't about progress, it's about potential.
No, it's about progress. We must have progress.
My house would agree, Your Grace. We see great potential in its future.
And I suppose your blazing profits during the legacy don't have nothing to do with that, do they, Dominel? You can't have it both ways no more. Animancy goes, or this country goes.
So you admit, Master Barask, that Animancy is no closer to stopping the legacy than it ever was?
No, we've had many promising experiments. Cadman Azo has shown...
Cadman Azo murdered a child.
Oh,
for a
yeah.
complete failure. We should be hanging him right now for what he done. The dozens won't stand for it.
The experiment failed, yes, but his work...
Ah, our new delegate from the Knights of the Crucible. What makes you say sabotage?
I met a false patient in Brackenberry Sanitarium who had tampered with Azo's machinery.
The fuck's that even matter? These are people who would toy with the lives of our
Whoa,
children.
language, Morley.
Indeed. Even assuming there was sabotage, is this Animancer Azo not still accountable here?
He isn't. This was a responsible scientist who was manipulated. I disagree. I don't believe that. I'm going to go with this one. He is. His ambitions exceeded his ethics.
Exactly. Look at what happened in Heritage
I don't
Hill.
necessarily
Our
want them to, like,
protectors
go
of
no
Crucible
animancy
Peak
ever,
can't
but
even clean up the messes
I'm fairly
Animancy
neutral in
leaves.
this. Doesn't even have a CD-ROM drive, so I bought a USB portable one and put a 4 terabyte hard disk drive on it, which cost me only $67. Not bad. A lot of computers don't come with optical drives anymore. I have a Blu-ray drive. I don't even know if it... In fact, I know for a fact it doesn't work because I had to unhook it from the computer because I have too many hard drives that needed to be plugged in. I ran out of SATA slots in my computer. So my Blu-ray drive's just sitting in the computer doing nothing.
Your Grace, we'd have a much easier time of it if our knights weren't so occupied trying to keep their organization from igniting a revolution on our very doorstep.
Heritage Hill is blood on your hands, Justicia. You turn a blind eye, and look what happens.
I've been to Heritage Hill since the quarantine, though the Knights were unable to control the damage. It was not Animancy, but an ancient machine that caused it. The Crucible Knights are blameless here. This was not the working of Animancy, but an ancient device in Tyr Nauneth. There we go.
You've some strange taste in travels, friend. The height of your tales expands with every breath.
That's because I'm awesome, and I have good friends who are really cool. My word is my oath. I challenge anyone here to find someone who knows different. When I see problems, I take matters into my own hands.
I had heard whispers of a new delegate set to attend today's hearing. I admit that your candor was mentioned more than once.
Oh, good. At least people know I have candor.
Tell us what you saw in Heritage Hill.
Tyr Nauneth houses an Ingwithan machine that holds dominion over the flow of souls. It was this machine that made the district undead. Do you think that was the machine's purpose? Or just a dire side effect? Kana shudders. But then, why would the Ingwithans build such a machine at all?
Even if it is as you say, we have testimony that a group of animancers had been spending time there. Surely their tinkering had something to do with this.
My intellect is not high enough. I have reason to believe that there were others at the tower who might have done this. There's no denying they were studying dangerous machinery they didn't understand. They followed ambition blindly, taking few precautions and allowing personal feelings to get in the way of solving the problem. That's a perception check.
But the very purpose of these experiments is to understand. So these dangerous things can be used responsibly.
This is what it comes down to, Your Grace. Whatever their intentions, Animancy's a pox. It makes a fucking wreck of everything. We all know what Widewind's legacy's really about. And it ain't about some sparkling saint from Creed Ceres who's mad because he took a stroll down the wrong bridge.
Ah, wrong bridge indeed.
It's about a bunch of so-called intellectuals fucking with the natural order while the rest of us gotta suffer for it.
Is it, though? Should we not take the time to reach a clear conclusion? I mean, what proof do we have?
We don't have much. Use my hard disk drive as a backup drive. but as a 1 terabyte solid state drive, pretty good. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping to put 2 more 1 terabyte NVMe drives into my computer, which will bring my total number of drives up to 8.
My son and daughter are buried beneath the floor of my house. We don't own no land, so that's where we lay them. My son, my wife let him slip when she was bathing him. Got water in his lungs, he couldn't cough up. My daughter, we put her to bed one night, and the next morning she wasn't breathing. This Hollowborn thing, it ain't ending. And it ain't ending because we still let these charlatans play God. There's your proof, you damn copper fucker.
This guy cusses a lot.
Lady Dominel makes a point. If it's animancy, then why do the other states that permit the practice not suffer the same fate? Who among us can say he truly understands why the legacy has taken hold here?
Oh, I know. The grieving mother reaches toward your mind with hers. Bring order to the chaos here. I can. The crowd begins to mutter, the sound taking a doubtful character. Right idea, Watcher. Taking this hearing by the curly ones. Don't waste your chance. Widewind's legacy is the creation of the Leaden Key. Caedmon Ozzo's downfall was their work, as was the tower in Heritage Hill. They want you to do this. They want animancy to fail. The dull muttering expands into a din of skepticism that fills the hall. I have seen them in the ruins of Irglanfath, operating machines that disrupt and redirect the flow of souls, near towns like Gilded Vale and Deerford, where the legacy is universal. As a watcher, I have heard their dead confess their ploy. They are stealing the souls of the unborn.
Another lunatic at the hearing. Did you remember to lock your sanitarium before you left, Master Barask?
Oh no. Please, I want only to help the Deerwood. You want to see crazy? Make one more smart comment. That's even supposed to be my person. Birth in invalids until your womb dries for all I care. The rest of these people will hear the truth. You shame your order by dismissing the truth before hearing it, madam. I expect better from the Knights of the Crucible. If he did, for your husband's sake, I hope he at least left a brothel unlocked. Oh my goodness. If, as the Duke says, no theory has more proof than any other, what is the harm of hearing one more? Your quips cannot change the truth. Yes.
You must know, friend, that the Leaden Key is a mantle for small-time ruffians and children at play.
Topher, thank you very much for the heads up.
Not yet. But you'd better start making sense of all this. Help us believe you.
Okay, what's more likely, that the gods are destroying Deerwood for the science practiced in many parts of the world, or that a group of people hates animancy and wants it suppressed? The Leaden Key is very real. They are foreigners from Adir and Red Saris who hate Deerwood and want to see us suffer. Let's say a lord is cuckolded by his wife. If he tells her to stop, she'll only want her lover more, but if he spreads a rumor that her lover was just visited a brothel and acquired a pox on his loins, what does that have to do with what's going on? We all want the same thing here. We want Widewind's legacy to end. If we work together instead of arguing, we can stop the people who are doing this. You speak truth, Watcher. Unfortunately, I fear it falls on deaf ears in this place.
No self-respecting member of the Dozens is gonna let these animancers keep casting their black magics in the same districts where there's children being born. I think I can tell my friends from my enemies on my own. You better watch which side you fall on.
You've made an unexpected case, friend. I'll say that much. It seems we have a new possibility to consider, at the very least. How was it you came to learn all this?
I took a personal interest in the matter and tried to learn what I could. The Knights of the Crucible were instrumental in aiding my investigation. I kind of want to say that so that the Knights of the Crucible will like me more, but I don't know if I should say that. Took a personal interest. Let's say they were instrumental.
I see. I'm impressed the Knights seized such an unlikely opportunity to find an end to all of this. But these hearings are about more than Wide-, 's legacy, even though that is our most pressing concern. Let's say for the moment that I were to take you at your word that our friends in Brackenbury Sanitarium and their peers bear no responsibility for this curse upon my country. I'm curious, what would you do if you were in my position?
Oh boy, here we go. I would allow animancers to continue their work. They explore questions we all wish to understand. If we'd known more, perhaps this crisis could have been averted. Animancy should be studied in Deerwood. If you don't, someone else will, and they will wield great power over you. The animancers of Deerwood have been given too long a leash. The practice should be restricted and controlled. In truth, I'm not completely confident animancy doesn't have something to do with Widewind's legacy. It would be wise to ban the practice, at least for now. Animancy is too dangerous. We were not meant to use it, and we have proven why we are unworthy of it. It should be outlawed. I'm going to go with number 1. I do not trust these animancers, seeking first after gain and glory. But if they can heal our children, I would not hinder them.
Very well. That is all I wish to hear. Not just from you, but from everyone. Many days we've been at this. It is time we put it to rest.
Yes, put it to rest now.
I want to thank the delegations for helping me collect my thoughts. And our new delegate, who, if nothing else, has made this final day a little more interesting. The time has come to choose a direction for the Deerwood.
Oh boy, I should have saved before I did all this.
Ramir D. Barash, representing the interests of animancers in Deerwood, step forward.
Your Grace.
Uh-oh.
The arguments for and against animancy are both strong in their own way. I must be careful in my judgment.
Forgive me, Your Grace. We will accept no judgment but our own.
What's he doing?
No, wait!
Stop this at once!
And seriously, nobody saw that guy come in, fall to the floor, and then walk back out.
I've given you every chance to end this pursuit. Shall I end it for you?
You could give it a shot.
Another time. I am already late.
Oh, what? Smeech just passed out. The words, "Shall I end it for you?" ring in your ears. You find yourself gasping for breath, struggling to keep your own balance. You drop to a knee and watch as Theos hurries out of the building. The world dims around you, the screams and clashing of weapons fading to silence. All that remains are the words.
Shall I end it for you?
Theos stands at a pulpit, high above an assembly of robed onlookers, you among them, clustered around a wide circular pit carved of stone. He addresses a woman bound backward over a large iron wheel overlooking the great stone maw. Many of the woman's fingers and toes are severed, and the bottoms of her feet are charred black. The skin on one side of her face looks like melted candle wax, black and red and seeping, and the angle of her back suggests a spine in ruins. Yet for all that, her expression betrays little of her anguish.
I am already at peace, Grand Inquisitor. Are you?
So be it. If you desire no end, you shall have none.
What?
I find you guilty of heresy. May the eternal prison bar your soul from passage, for it is beyond redemption.
I can't wait to kill this guy. He nods to a hooded attendant who begins untying her from the wheel. Smeech was granted Dominion of the Sleepers. You open your eyes to the beamed ceilings of the palace's grand entry hall. The clangs of metal striking metal waft in from outside, alongside the cries of the injured as you stagger to your feet. Theos is gone. Smeech! Kanarua moves to your side, looking around anxiously. I hope you're fit to walk, because we can't stay here any longer. Off to one side, you can hear the clinking rustle of chainmail, and you look over to see a wounded guard slumped against the wall. He is trying to say something, seemingly directed at you, but at first it is too faint to hear. He gathers his breaths and manages to rasp out a few words. Lady Webb. She's the only... She must be told. She'll know what to do. Please, find her. Tell her everything. Then he dies. What do you mean it doesn't have multiple player options?
Just say the word.
I wanted to see, what is this new ability we just got? Dominion of the Sleepers. Once per rest, plus 2 might, plus 2 constitution, plus 2 dex, plus 2 to basically everything for 22 seconds.
Just say the word.
Don't go out there. There's rioting in the streets. I must. The Duke is dead. Now the whole city is going to fall to ash. What's going on? We've got Supplicant. Leaving in 17 hours. If ignored, -8 prestige. We don't want that. Plus 0 for security for 3 days. Minor reputation with Durford Village. Negative. Payoff. I'm confused as to what you're saying about multiple player options. Like, I know it has multiplayer.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
I know it has plenty of options for your character. Task failed. We failed a task? That stinks. I don't even know what the task was. Oh well. We're going to move on anyway. Oh, that's Starfield. Okay. I was very confused because, like, Baldur's Gate 3 not having multiplayer. Multiplayer is like seems like it's going to be a big selling point for that game. Lots of dead people in here. I don't feel like there was a way to succeed at that whole mission. Oh no. Tell me she's not dead. She is. Her soul is there. Lady Webb lies still in her bed, an ornate cushion propping her back upright. The blood pooled beneath a gash in her chest is tacky and nearly dry. The shattered glass rests on the floor beneath her dangling hand. You can feel the faint aura of her fading essence in your kin. You make contact and are immersed in a torrent of sensory input and experience. When it calms you, you find yourself in the same room. When it calms, you find yourself in the same room, lying in bed with a glass of brandy in your hand. Through the walls from the street outside come the sounds of screams and shattering glass and the cacophony of an angry mob. You take a sip, and it warms your gullet. Across the room, the door opens behind a patient, steady push. Into the room walks Theos, the floorboards creaking beneath deliberate steps. You wait until the last of the brandy has trickled down your throat before you speak. I was a fool. Oh, there she goes.
I think I could tame these people.
You came closer than most.
Yeah, up to 4 players. It's a decent party.
Epitaph.
No worse than any.
You are concentrating, focusing with all of your energy. It feels as though you are diving into a stone wall over and over, but it cracks suddenly, unexpectedly, allowing the vaguest wisp of a thought to leak through.
What's in Twin Elms?
Did you pull that from my thoughts?
I've had time to practice.
Oh yeah, lots of classes and tons of subclasses.
Ah.
He walks over to a small table and raises a half-empty brandy bottle to eye level. He seems to approve of the selection and begins to reach for an empty glass.
I was saving that for someone.
Pity. You know this is how it has to be.
He draws a long, curved knife from his belt, smeared with fresh blood. With his left hand, he gently pins your sternum as he raises the knife in the other, its point dangling above your heart.
Prove it.
Theo slips the knife between your ribs and pushes it through. Layers of tissue separate with brittle, papery stiffness, and blood wells up around the blade. A pulse of reflex causes you to drop your glass to the floor and you hear it shatter. With the last of your strength, you take his knife hand in both of yours, a question radiant in your mind. For an instant, to your great surprise, the pathway to his mind is left open to you, unguarded, and the answer comes simple, cataclysmic in its We just completed Act 2. That's what we just got the achievement for. Simple, cataclysmic in its reordering of your thoughts. As Lady Webb, you feel as though you have an answer you've searched for all your life. But in your own mind, her understanding lies just beyond your reach. You look at Theos with the wide eyes of someone seeing for the first time and draw your last breath as a black, velvety darkness descends over you.
Smoke rises above the city walls in billowing plumes that blacken the sky like a storm. Behind the walls, the riots rage on. Known patrons of Animancy are forced into hiding as looters ransack their estates and make off with their possessions. Animancers are torn away from their families and dragged from their homes.
It seems to me they don't want Animancers around because the Animancers have the best chance of stopping them.
Duke Avar had been assassinated, and that an Animancer was to blame. The city wasted little time in exacting revenge, and little effort into evaluating guilt. In the center of it all, Brackenbury Sanitarium burned. And down the lane, Hodred House, the last bastion of stability in the Deerwood, had fallen silent. Now safely outside the city gate, your path points eastward to Twin Elms, where Theos is bound, for reasons that remain mysterious as the leaden key itself.
So now we finally are going to have access to that area. But that's not going to be where we go first. Quest completed. The Assassin at Large. But first we're going to do this. Durgan's Battery. So we're going to travel to Stalwart in the White March. The pass through Stormwall Gorge is now open. See, and I don't have any reason to go back home, right? Nope. Everything's built, so we're doing as good there as we can. Hold on. We do have something we need to do while we're here.
Say what you want about Dear Woodens. They haven't met the problem yet that they couldn't solve by killing some scapegoats.
You fight for people because you see something there that deserves defending. Even more so because someone you trust sees it too. Then you turn around and they do something like this and the person who made you want to help them is gone. People never fail to disappoint without guidance. They're doing what they think the gods want of them. It's nice that they mean well, but how can organized murder be their best guess? Although, come to think of it, maybe they're just following Widewind's example. He was purging his own long before Deerwood got the idea. Only he was purging because they weren't Eothasian enough. Into a long, humid day as a culture. Agreed, man. Although I like to take a hot shower and then slowly make it colder and colder until I can't stand it, and then I have to jump out. Never thought I'd find myself missing the hospitality back home. Oh, evidently you just can't get back into the city anymore. So maybe I have lost my chance. I do have all these trials that I can still turn in. I was supposed to be recruiting people so that we could defend Cadnua from the evil bad Duke guy. We have a couple of things that we need to turn in Durford Village. So we'll do that before we move on. Aloth finished escorting Supplicant and returns to the stronghold. Excellent. Okay, direct Medrith away from... I was told Nifri where Medrith was waiting, and she gave him the slip. As a final favor, she asked me to send him off in another direction. So we need to find Medrith. Well, that one... Yeah, there's Medrith.
Welcome.
Squints at you pulling the grass into two flimsy threads. Did she now? And how would you have known that? I was just hoping you'd believe me. Don't worry, I'll catch up with her right after I take care of you. Oh, good. We get to actually just kill Medrith straight up. I'm good with that. Murder hoboing the countryside. Murder hoboing the Medrith. Okay, that's done. And we need to go to the alchemist, who is right over here, I believe. Yes. Just laying on the couch with the central air running and eating my Italian ice with bomb pops. Oh, I haven't had a bomb pop in years. We spent most of our weekend without air conditioning this weekend. Because our area got hit by a tiny tornado, and it knocked our power out, and when the power went out, it killed our air conditioner, and we had to have to wait until yesterday when somebody would come and finally fix it. Luckily, we were fine. Some friends around us, though, they had problems. Trees down and such like that.
Gods keep you.
Found your dragon egg. How'd you manage that? I found the nest. Hope those worms didn't give you too much trouble. Let's see her then. Amazing, not a single crack. You've lost the dragon egg. She hefts the egg into the back of her wagon and rummages among her shelves. Here, take this. She drops a stack of coins and a parcel of ingredients in your hands. Everything you need to brew a good, strong pick-me-up. Should come in handy with the kind of scrapes you seem to get into. And come see me anytime you need potions or ingredients, alright? I got a special price for friends. Excellent. That one's done too. Dragon fruit mochi? What's a mochi? We still don't know where to go. He went, countryside around Elm Shore. I still don't know where Elm Shore is. Not a clue. All right, let's head for White March. Stalwart Village. It will take you 24 hours to complete your journey. Your party is considered high level for the content in the White March. If you would like, the critical path can be increased in difficulty to give you more of a challenge. The rewards you receive will be the same regardless of the option. Your choice cannot be changed. Well, then let's just play standard. If the rewards are going to be the same, we're just here for the story. Only the best food ever conceived? What is it? How have I not had the best food ever conceived?
Set out for Stalwart. The White March rises up in the distance, stretching to the north and south as far as the eye can see. It beckons to you with peaks like broken fingers. The road thins to a tattered ribbon, and the shadow of the mountains falls across your path. You've barely begun your climb when the darkening sky pummels you with hailstones and turns the ground beneath you to ice. You press on. The air grows thin, and the treacherous mountain passes funnel screeching winds past your ears. A blizzard forces you to make camp.
Sticky
for 3
rice
days,
dumpling filled with
huddling for
ice
safety
cream.
while snow piles
Okay,
around your refuge.
I should try that.
At last the weather clears, and you approach Stalwart under a crisp blue sky. There's a noise, high and sharp, coming from the village that sounds at first like another frozen gale. But when you top the rise and reach the village's wooden gates, you see what lies beyond them.
Interesting. I'll have to find it somewhere and give it a shot.
It's Darzier!
Oh no!
Pack of them!
We can take these bastards!
Somebody's about to attack our keep.
You better run!
Okay, let's take a look here. 2 hours remaining. Can I better hire some dudes. We can have 8. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? Let us get... Oh, we can hire Crucible Knights now. So we want to hire some Crucible Knights. We want to hire a Cleric. Let's get ourselves an Archer, a Mage, a Warden, we can have 2 more. Rautai Linebreaker. I like that. And we want another Knight. Mind Striker, maybe? Yeah, there we go. We got to make a lot of money now, though, because that's going to cost us. We've got our people. And then we've got 2 hours, so we're going to auto-resolve this. You have accrued a debt due to damage to the stronghold. You won't receive any income from taxes until it's paid. 100 copper. Pay it. Done. Like 10 flavors at the store. All right. All right. It's time to try them out. What am I doing here now? Okay, if I kill the ogre leading the raid, Darzier, it should break the ogre's morale.
Leave it to me.
Look out! More of them by the fissure!
Right, that's how it's done. Where is Darzier? That's by the fishery. Nice and easy. Well, there weren't that many by the fishery. Oh no! He threw a snowball at me. Knocked me down. He's got a cannon. I'm glad he did not get a chance to fire that. That's just just more ogres. Big group of ogres here. There's Darzier. There we go. We got the leader down.
Back to the matron now.
Yeah, go back to your matron. You're one of the Renengild sent for. Sure, yes. She'll want to speak with you. Her house is just up the way next to Gref's Rest.
Katie's house is burning. Hurry, they're both in there.
No!
Help, the hut's coming down.
The roof of the hut is almost entirely enveloped in flames, lighting the snow in stark orange hues. Several beams have been reduced to ember-dotted husks. Through the hut's threshold, you can see only billowing smoke. Fire roars as it climbs the timbers. The air feels thick and hot, and the building is a maze of flame. Withstanding the smoke and navigating the fire will be a challenge. I'm doing it! You leap over the burning threshold, plunging past a veil of smoke. Inside the house, fire has pitted the walls and beams, and the thick haze rolls through the building. It is hard to see even a few feet ahead, save for the occasional glimpse of glowing embers. Crouch down to avoid the smoke. You move onward through a haze of heat and soot. The hut groans and shifts as the blaze grows. Above, a beam begins to sag, threatening to crash down into the corridor. From just ahead comes the faint sound of a voice calling for help. Can I prop the beam with another log? Am I strong enough for that? Looking around quickly, you notice a piece of fallen timber that seems just tall enough to work. You heave it up and set it against the sagging beam. The makeshift prop holds for the moment, allowing you safe passage. Despite the smoke and flames, you remain unharmed and unhindered for the moment. Pressing forward, you come at last to a wider room. To the left is a man, the source of the faint cries for help. He stands trapped behind a curtain of flame, arms raised to ward off heat. It may be impossible to reach him without quenching the fires first. To the right, a woman lies unconscious, beneath what appears to have once been the roof. She's small, but the rubble trapping her looks heavy. Smoke winds its way up and out into the open air, obscuring all sight of the outside. Okay, she's helpless, so we're gonna look at her first. The woman is trapped beneath a considerable amount of rubble, including a heavy crossbeam. A purpling bruise on her temple suggests that she was struck as the debris fell. On her outflung hand, you can just make out the glint of a ring. Use the pry bar to clear the rubble. You set the pry bar against a section of the crossbeam, and using it every ounce of strength, strain to lift it clear. After a period of fruitless struggle, the beam finally begins to rise by slow degrees. You've lost the pry bar. With one great and final effort, you heave the last of the rubble clear of the woman. Though still unconscious, the woman is free of the rubble and can now be moved. Okay, let's get this woman out of here. The woman is of a slight frame, and carrying her proves easier than freeing her from the rubble. You hoist her carefully onto your shoulder. I can't help them both. It's not going to give me a chance. The ordeal has taken a meager toll, but you have fared well, retaining enough energy to press on. Keeping a firm hold upon the unconscious woman, you turn for the exit. You race past the unsteady beam for a second time. The timbers crash down a scant few seconds after you pass through. The smoke clouds your vision and makes it difficult to breathe, but you stagger onward. At last, you come to the door, rushing out of the blaze and into the mountain air.
Katie, thank the gods you saved her.
Yeah, but the guy is dead. You alright? I was sure that thing was coming down and taking you with it. The man wipes his brow and stares up at the collapsing house. At least you got Katie out when you did. As for poor Lorgulder, his eyes widen as a section of the roof collapses. He looks away, shaking his head. You look like you could use a drink. Take this over to Hefrick's house and have one on me. Ring of Changing Heart. Well, crud. All right. Well, at least we saved Katie, right? That was better than nothing. Better than nothing. Not as good as we could have hoped. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead. That's where we're going to go ahead and call it a night right now. Topher just said 3 minutes. My clock's showing 11:59 my time. So thank you guys very much for hanging out with me this evening. At least we did finish Act 2, so we've got 2 pieces of DLC to get through, and then the final act waiting for us. Like I said, we're going to try to finish it by the end of next week. That's our goal, is to see if we can finish the game by the end of next week. I hope you guys are enjoying this playthrough. Come back tomorrow, and we'll pick up right where we're leaving off. Until then, stay sharp, and be excellent to each other. Have a good night.